YouTube user Lucky Sun also asked about another video. How do I explain this? In the Azusa gospel music series, you'll find Carleton Pearson, a gospel evangelist, pastor, preacher, Carleton Pearson. And he would put on large concerts, I think primarily towards the West Coast, California, etc., for the AME Church, African Methodist Episcopal. And they're called Azusa series, and he's done a number of those through the years. So one of these videos that Lucky pulled out of this set was called "This Train is Bound for Glory, This Train." It's a great favorite of the gospel world. They did it in G. The soloist was Pop Winans, pretty popular around the gospel music arena. So in G you have all white notes except for the one black note, which is F sharp. Now this is going to be a pretty predictable jazz pattern. It's not very complicated in its basics. There are a few little nuances that the instrumentalists put in, and I'm going to try to remember those and offer them to you as suggestions. And I don't have it perfect. I don't have it completely right. So just know that moving forward, that I just heard it once or twice and I'm working through it. So this is "This Train" in the key of G. This train is bound for glory, this train. So it starts in G. This train is bound for glory, this train. This train is bound for glory. So that's going to be your 2, your A major, A, C sharp, E, and G. Glory, this train. Then you move to your dominant, which is D, F sharp, and A. This train is bound for glory, G over B. The only way you ride. So this is going to be 4. So your 4 chord is C, E, and G. And then I think they do a 4 minor here. And they could be adding in some other diatones down below. So it could be something as simple as C minor, C, E sharp, E flat, and G. But then they've added some other stuff in there. You just have to watch the organist and figure it out. The end of the progression is G over D. This train is bound, A for glory, D, 7 if you want to add it. This train, back to 1. Now, when you get here, the instrumentalist did a really nice little dominant 5. So you'd be, they put a little augmented in there. So augmented means we take the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we build a chord, D, F sharp, and A, so that's the 5th, and then they put in the augmented where they raise the 5th. So you notice we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we found the chord of the 5th chord, so it's D. Now the 5th of the 5 goes augmented. Alright, so that's what they did, and it just happens a quick moment in time in that turnaround. When you hear me play that, that sounds more similar to what you're hearing in the video, doesn't it? That's what they did. This train is bound for glory, this train. This train is bound for glory, this train. This train is bound for glory. Already mine, you got to be holy. This train is bound for glory, this train. Okay? And then move into the verse. This train don't carry no gambles, this train. Train don't carry no gambles, this train. So I am at a loss here. I'm not really sure if they do 4 minor or whether they do 4 sharp diminished. I'm not sure. Help me figure that out. Somebody out there, you can email me at pianoryland@gmail.com and let me know whether it's 4 minor or 4 sharp diminished. But nonetheless, it progresses on. 1 over 5, G chord over D. This car, this train. Now here's a nice little trick that they threw in. Alright, so this is an E major sharp 9. Alright, let's hold for just a second. You'll hear this a lot in jazz progressions. So E sharp 9. So what they've done is they have taken an E chord. So you have E, G sharp, and B. You add the 7th, which is your D, and then you add the sharp 9. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because you have to think in E. E has 4 sharps, and then so that's the 9. So then it's a sharp 9. So that's out of the key, but it's a jazz chord, so it's a G natural. And then the way they voice it is this way. You can add the B if you like. It just makes it kind of make sense at first. E, G sharp, and B, normal chords we think in. Add the 7th, which is D natural. And then the G is the sharp 9. Now that wild chord that you're hearing in there is the it's the weird interval of a major 7th. Hear how it resolves for the perfect 8th or the octave? The major 7th is down a half step, so it compresses. You cannot do that for long periods of time. In jazz theory, it's only meant to hit it and be off of it and move away to something else, because it is such a tension builder. You can tell the pleasing intervals when you get there. Hear that? The sharp one. You can feel the tones vibrate. Piano tuners know about this. You can feel the tones beating against each other. This is a fast sound beat. That's a slow sound beat, if you wanted to hear it that way. Nonetheless, that was a long digression. So we got to the 1 over 5, the sharp 9. That's how I usually voice a sharp 9. E, G sharp, D, G natural. And then in the video it moves to the 2 major, or secondary dominant, which is going to be your A, your A7 in simple form like this. In expanded form I put it like that, A major. Moves to 5, 7, which will be D major. Back to 1. And then that famous walk, famous turnaround movement that you're just going to have to memorize. So there's 1 over 3. 4 is C major. 4 sharp diminished. 5 or D major. So that's going to be the 5 augmented. Remember we talked about D, F sharp, and A, raise the 5th, D, F sharp, B flat. This is a freebie for you. Alright, so a variation of the 5 augmented is this jazz chord. So a substitute. So we got D major augmented. This is also a passing chord. So this is an A flat 13 sharp 11. A flat 13 sharp 11. So basically what you've done is you've stacked a B flat over the stack of an E flat, but we have put it in expanded form here. So it moves the same. Alright, we turn it around again. And then in that split second you're back into this train is bound for glory, this train is sort of kind of that's how they did it. pianoryland@gmail.com, and let me know of your questions and comments, please.